Bread boys, I want to talk about the think before you sleep and Illymation situation, where Illymation just becomes a super sensitive snowflake on the internet. So let's get right into it. If you don't know, Think Before You Sleep is a YouTuber who makes videos about controversial topics and actually brings good evidence and advice towards people in the video. He doesn't like any radicalized ideas, like for example, cancel culture or the fat acceptance movement. I want to be politically neutral on this whole thing, so I don't get fucking canceled for the same thing that Think Before You Sleep is, even though he didn't say anything hate speechy or completely went out of his way to shit on her. All he does in the video where he talks about Illymation, which is where the controversy starts, where basically Think Before You Sleep made a reactionary to her video talking about diet culture, fat acceptance, dieting as a kid, dieting as a young adult, being insecure about your body, things like that, right? It's a very open-sided video where she talks about her experience with weight, right? Dealing with her body. And a friend of Illymation basically talked to her about it on a different platform, saying, oh, well, this guy is just being, you know, he's just catering to the Jordan Peterson viewers and the Ben Shapiro viewers, stuff like that, even though, you know, he made a video against Ben Shapiro's sister. Like, you know, just baseless claims to throw him under the bus.
Alyssa posted this on Tumblr. Of course it was Tumblr. The comment thread starts out with a post saying, "Did you see this total creep who did a takedown of your fat kid animation?" Alyssa responds to it by saying, "Yes, frowny face. I didn't watch it. A friend did though, and gave me a rundown. I advise others to not watch the video or his channel either. Do not engage. Don't give him a single second of watch time or ad revenue." Yeah, real mature. I'm going to start a mass flagging campaign for a video that I didn't watch, and then tell my followers to not watch it either, because surely they shouldn't be allowed to develop their own opinions on content that is critical of me. Gee, that doesn't sound like a cult at all.
So obviously when Illymation finally saw the video, she was like, oh, well, I mean, he already hates me, so I'm not gonna come into this video thinking that this was a creative, productive feedback video. But if you're gonna go watch the video, the link is gonna be in my description. But basically, all of it's just about talking about, hey, maybe you did this wrong, or maybe you trusted this dietitian, and you shouldn't have, or you talked to a personal trainer that wasn't giving you the right stuff like that. And Illymation just didn't fuck with that at all. Her sensitive ass was just like, well, you see, you're just talking about and attacking my character. Well, no shit, that's what you made the video about. Have you never had somebody react to your content before? It is called constructive criticism, and he's giving you good advice inside the video. I would throw clips at you and stuff like that, but I don't want to skim through the 36-minute video and go through all the clips and stuff. I want to make this video as fast as possible. But again, watch the video yourself. Give me your opinion in the comments. Tell me what's going on. What do you think is going on? What's going on in your head? If you're like a fan of Illymation, why do you think that she's valid in this? I would love to have a good discussion in the comments with you guys, since I'm a small creator. But in my eyes, Think Before You Sleep hasn't done anything wrong in this situation. All he did was make a reactionary video and give her good advice, and then talk about her like research being kind of fucked. You know, she didn't research properly and was kind of lazy with it, and pulled out like these old articles that were like 20 years old to prove her point. Because as you know, Think Before You Speak doesn't really like these woke people who are just radicalized in their own idea. He wants to challenge that opinion and try to give them, and even give them, another perspective on how they're thinking about diet and fitness. Apparently she didn't even watch the video. Like, here's a comment talking about the tip, right, where she's just like, oh, I didn't really watch it, but hey, make sure you flag this channel. She advises people not to watch the video because, you know, people challenging your opinion on certain things is a terrible thing on YouTube. Even tell them, don't give him a single second of watch time or ad revenue. That is physically telling your fans never to challenge your opinion on this, not to challenge anything about it. That is a cult. You're creating a cult, Illymation. You're absolutely stunned if you think this is productive in any way, shape, or form. And if you've never watched it, then how do you know what's in it? Like, you literally instantly tell people not to watch the video, like, without watching it. That is absurd. Imagine me making a video or commenting on somebody else making a reactionary video to my content. And I'm like, hey, I know I didn't watch the content, or I don't actually know what's inside the video. I'm just gonna take the word of mouth, you know, like the big fucking game of telephone, and I'm just gonna fucking use that as the evidence not to watch it and to tell everybody else in my fan base not to watch this guy. So my opinions will never be contradicted. That is complete segmented bullshit that you just fucking put in your own little closed box to make sure nobody gets in and criticize you in your own fan base. Just to nail home the fact that he's not bashing this bitch, right? Here is a clip of the video where he just talks about her fashion sense and how she should dress in a way that makes her look more attractive.
Let's continue with the completely unbiased assessment from Alyssa's friend. He spends a very high percentage of the video personally attacking Illy's appearance. Well, first of all, the fashion section was less than 10% of the content. It was 2 minutes and 45 seconds of a 37-minute video. Second, you also forgot to mention the part where I began that section highlighting Alyssa's good features to aim people's attention towards, and gave 2 examples of what she looks like when she styles herself correctly, and compared that to when she styles herself incorrectly. The reason I did that is because many people think they're ugly when they actually aren't. They just have...
As you can obviously see, there is no bashing of her character at all. He's just saying you can be more beautiful if you dressed a bit better. You have untapped potential. That is all he said. What's the part where he personally attacks Illy's appearance? He doesn't attack anything. What he does is criticize it and says how to do it better. Then he gives good advice. Guys, this is think before you sleep here. He has a certification in a lot of medical science and working out and diet. This guy is not bashing for saying good advice.
Talking about health and fitness here, and what sort of certifications does Alyssa have in either of those fields to be qualified to talk about them in her video? Guess who does have certifications to talk about fitness? Me. I don't mention it a lot because constantly talking about your qualifications sounds a lot like insecure bragging, but I did say I was a fitness professional in my reaction to Alyssa, and my personal qualifications are a bachelor's degree in kinesiology, an NSCA personal training certificate, and a 200-hour yoga teacher certificate. I also have about 12 years of combined experience in the fitness industry and in sports, and I taught for about 10 of those years. I am very well educated in this field. I constantly learn new information in it, and it's one of the reasons why my fitness and weight loss videos do so well. It's because my advice actually works and has resulted in many people losing weight.
This is just fucking common sense, Illymation. He's actually helping you, instead of like some fucking trainer that is telling you, oh, you're just getting more muscle, or you're just doing this wrong. He's telling you never give up on your dieting, never give up on trying to achieve the body you want. And you obviously don't care about that, because the ending of the video that Think Before You Sleep is reacting to, you're like, maybe bodies are just supposed to be fat, you know? You fucking gave up. And Think Before You Sleep's trying to help. And then you're pissed because he's proving you wrong with an easy answer. That's all this is. The rest of the video is breaking down the different, sources that she cites in the response on Tumblr. Like, for example, she tries to prove that obesity isn't the single factor to health conditions, and obesity should be overlooked because they also have like alcohol addiction, tobacco addictions, not exercising, stuff like that. But do you know what else obese people do? They try to reach out to certain escapes like drugs, alcohol, and not working out and eating a fuck ton. That's what obese people do, and that's how you get that big. And that's basically, you know, what Think Before You Sleep says for like 20 minutes of the video, and responds to the whole fact that it's actually not cyberbullying, and he actually hasn't said anything that was bad or attacking her character. All he does is suggest better behaviors in the future. That's literally it. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Literally watch the video and show me the parts where he fucks up and absolutely just shits on her. Because I've watched the video 3 times now, and it does not show anything that absolute hate speech. And I live in a place called Canada where you can get put in jail for hate speech. I know what hate speech looks like, and it is not that. And near the ending, he talks about how Illymation is just doing this because he's criticizing her in some way and calling her ideas wrong. Illymation is a giant fucking snowflake and should genuinely do some research on dieting and exercise instead of trusting on some certain people. You should try all sorts of new things. You shouldn't just try one thing and hope to God it works. Because in our The Perks of Being a Fat Kid video, she talks about how she went through like 4 months of going to a dietitian, exercising, stuff like that, right? It's either she cheated on it or her dietitian and personal trainer weren't working together and they didn't know that the exercises she should be doing to lose fat, like what Think Before You Sleep suggests in the video, responding to it. Now that about wraps up what I wanted to talk about in the video. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments. I would love to respond to them and try to clear up some misconceptions about Think Before You Sleep. Tell me your thoughts on Illymation if you watch her or watch the video and haven't watched the Think Before You Sleep video. Any kind of feedback or criticisms or anything you want to talk about, I would love to respond to. Anyway, congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Here's a cookie. And since you made it to the end, you might as well like and subscribe because you like my content. And as always, bread boys, stay hydrated.